So, news just dropped a couple of days ago that John Gruden is suing Roger Goodell and the NFL over the emails that was released to the public. Apparently, the emails were selective. Like they chose certain emails to drop out. And my thing is, A, you shouldn't have been sending emails like that in the first fucking place. B, I feel like they dropped certain emails because they may have been worse. So you probably should drop the fucking case and keep it fucking moving. But hey, Bomani Jones did say on the right time, as he reported this, well, not this in particular, but that, something, John Gruden had a message that this situation wasn't over, in which he said that it's looking like this situation is just beginning. And, well, from the look of things, that's what it's looking like. Things are just beginning. So definitely keep an eye out on that situation because, again, we're always looking at the end game that this shit can be busted open league wide.
And again, my comment to you: what did you expect?
Fair point. Nonetheless, it's Tuesday. You know what that means. Live via satellite. It is Gorilla Game Podcast. I am your host, Carlos Crawford. I mix my Sunday driver with Slurricane, so we are going to wild the fuck out this episode. The fun levels are at an absolute high. And it's Super Tuesday. Say it with me. Super Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I got my buddy here, Kenny Whitaker. The fun levels are up over on his end as well. I'm sure of it.
Tuesday.
Yes, sir. We got a packed episode for you guys this week. AEW Full Gear went absolutely crazy, and Kenny has an Inside the Five this episode. But first, Pin Count, brought to you by Kiki & Co. Desserts. Number 1. Scottie Pippen.
Thank you, Scottie Pippen.
What's your end game, buddy? Like, what is your end game? Why are you doing this? For who? For what? Now, I mean, like, all right. Kenny, who is the greatest basketball player of all time?
Michael Jordan.
Not whom?
Scottie Pippen.
It's quite simple. This is something that most NBA players have been able to accept, but you simply cannot accept that. And it's like,
listen, to be fair, to defend Scottie a tad, because I have to defend him a tad, okay? Because it's like, obviously we know he's not the greatest player of all time, and he'll come out saying him just the greatest player, Michael Jordan is poppycock, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not right, and anybody that believes that should just be like, I don't know, facepalm himself, something. But to be fair, Scottie is one of the greatest players in NBA history. And for some reason, people would like to dismiss Scottie. Not on that, not purposely, not out of malicious intent, but think of the shadow he's standing in. Okay? So, like, that'd be like if, I don't know, I'm trying to think of somebody. Chris Carter. Chris Carter is great. But he stood in the shadow of Randy Moss. Okay? Like, you don't want to be in that shadow.
He didn't.
Yes, he did.
That's not that good of an example.
Okay. Chris Carter was established. Chris Carter, no. Hear me out. Chris Carter was established, but when Randy came, that attention came because Randy was just so damn good, and you know what? Keep up with him. You know Chris Carter gonna get you some catches, but the nigga you watching is Randy. After what he did to Dion, the nigga you watching is Randy.
Sure. But you were still that's what was so majestic about that 1998 team, because there was little to nothing.
Okay, a better example.
Because when all right, let's say you game plan around Randy Moss, you got to deal with Chris Carter now, and that's the last person you want to deal with aside from Randy Moss.
How about this? How about Magic Johnson and James Worthy?
There we go.
Is that better? Does that make you feel better?
A little better.
And by the way, they had Kareem too. So
yeah.
The only reason we don't say Magic was in Kareem's shadow because Magic was just so damn good that he's Magic. But James Worthy was in that shadow too.
James Worthy was in the shadow of not only Kareem, not only Magic, but Michael as well.
Yeah, North Carolina. If anybody is the king of shadows, it's James Worthy.
James Worthy. It's James Worthy by a long shot.
And you know what? That might just be the name of the episode. The king of shadows, James Worthy.
Why? I honestly can't think of any other player that lived in the shadow, like essentially in the shadow. And not to mention the fact that James Worthy cast a big shadow his damn self, but Kareem's shadow was much larger because Kareem was a playing legend at the time.
Correct.
And then you had Magic, who was the new guy that was going to take your organization to yet another level.
And everybody in Boston was in Larry Bird's shadow and down that time. Except maybe Kevin McHale.
Again, Kevin McHale, a large shadow. Robert Parrish, a large shadow.
And then you got Dennis Johnson. That man in shadows a lot.
So, like, I just can't think of any shadow larger than James Worthy that has been casted by larger shadows. Like, I can't think of any at the moment.
I can think of a larger shadow.
Whom?
Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Who do we consistently say is the greatest player of all time? Imagine being in the shadow of the greatest player of all time. Who would not have won rings if you did not show up?
Okay. Now, I've listened to a couple of, if not hot, good takes.
He's admitted it himself.
Over the week. And on one side of the fence, again, me listening to the right time, but Monty Jones looked at it like this, right? Is Scottie Pippen instrumental for Michael Jordan's success? Yes. If you take Scottie Pippen out, is Michael Jordan successful in the same fashion? He is not. However, you replace Scottie Pippen with another name of his caliber at the time, which was a 5-star caliber, so you could get another big name. MJ still maintains that legend. He was like, you could switch Scottie Pippen for Clyde Drexler, and people will argue, oh well, there won't be any defense being played. It wouldn't matter because they'd be scoring so fucking much.
Now, Clyde Drexler,
hold him down under, like
Clyde Drexler. I'm like maybe not. Charles Barkley, yes.
Oh my god. Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's the point. That was Bomani's point. It's like, Michael Jordan was going to secure his legacy. He just needed a sidekick. A sidekick that was essentially, if not just as good as him, almost as good as him. You know what I'm saying?
So now it just comes down to who you think is better, Scottie Pippen or Charles Barkley.
We don't remember this because we were kids.
I know. I wasn't gonna give an answer.
But there's a point where folks our age around that time were arguing over who was better between Jordan and Barkley.
That is a thing.
So
I do recall that. But I'm saying
that's my argument on who's better between Pippen and Barkley.
All I'm saying is to defend Scottie, I can see how somebody's mental, stability can be ruptured a lot because on one hand, you got Jordan telling him and telling everybody that without Scottie Pippen, I don't have these rings, which is a fact. And then on the other hand, you got people saying to Scottie, yeah, you would have had the rings, but he's still Jordan. So you helped him, but your help is kind of like here to him, which is kind of disrespectful. That's like if someone was to compare us to, and someone was to say, yo, Los, I know you're like the brainchild of the podcast, you know what I'm saying? You do the majority of the work, but Kenny's funny, so him being funny puts him here and puts you here. That'll piss you off. Would it not?
Yeah, it probably would.
You know, it probably would. And yeah, it would. You're damn right it would piss you off.
I'm not gonna lie. Nah, especially the fact that in my mind, I'm the funniest motherfucker I know. So
and my mind, and Pippen is probably thinking, and Pippen's probably thinking like you, like I'm the best basketball player I know in this month. I don't care what you're talking about with Jordan. And Jordan's probably like, Scottie, just look at what's happening. Before you came, I was scoring 63 by myself. So
my thing is that, right, with Scottie Pippen, his accolades goes like 6-time NBA champion, 7-time All-Star, NBA All-Star Game MVP from '94. He's on the first team 3 times, second team 2 times, third team. And a consensus All-American in college. Like, you give him all these, and it's like, on one side, he like, what more can I say? Like, that's...
Yeah,
but on the other side, it's like, you can't tell him much because we're looking at Jordan's accolades is better. But the reason why we're looking at Jordan's accolades is better,
they are.
Put it to you like this, and I tell people this all the time. This is why I like constantly tell people that Jordan is the greatest of all time, even though Bill Russell has more rings than him, Robert Horry has more rings than him, so on and so forth. Michael Jordan's accolades is essentially your NBA 2K Hall of Fame benchmark.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Every accomplishment you're trying to achieve in NBA 2K, my career before you retire, you're essentially trying to top Michael Jordan in that stat. What more evidence do you need? He has an award in every aspect of the game.
Again,
not once, more than once.
I agree. And again, I have to defend Scottie just a tad more, and then we can end it. Remember, he did carry the load those 2 years Jordan was gone, and they made the playoffs. Now he did not have any help though. Now Now imagine if somebody else was there to help Scottie.
Okay, all right. So I like to slightly call back to episode 81, in which Coach said, listen, Michael Jordan doesn't retire. No one wins the entire decade.
Right.
I say that to say this. The house basketball star, my little brother, Kenneth, he had a take on Scottie Pippen. And it went, well, I'm trying to put it the best way I can remember it, because he told me it's just last night. But he put it like this, all right? Literally, if it weren't for Scottie Pippen showing up in Chicago, Michael Jordan's career isn't as good as it was. Like, he may have still won championships, but it wouldn't have been as many. He may have still won awards, but it wouldn't have been as many. He wouldn't have known how to play defense for real if it weren't for Scottie Pippen. He was like, the thing about Scottie Pippen is there was no player that would dare try to strap up Magic Johnson going up court. And Scottie actually did it. And that's how they won their first championship. Mm-hmm. I said, yeah, you got a point there. That is a good point. So if it weren't for Scottie's defensive prowess, that is an essential part of all 6 of those championships. Not only Scottie's, but Dennis's defensive prowess as well. But that's another story. We're talking about Scottie here. Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, he's fine with his career.
Dennis Rodman, like, I'm happy. I won rings with and without you.
He had fun. Dennis Rodman had fun doing it all, and he was successful in doing so. Scottie, it irks him because he couldn't win shit without Jordan. But on the other side of that fence, Jordan couldn't win shit without Scottie. So it's like, it's something he should find solace in. But it's like Scottie's upset with the fact that Jordan was such an enigmatic character on the court and off the court because his play style was graceful in the capturing. He was like, the model citizen off the court, essentially. Well, aside from his gambling issue. So he was the perfect, face of the league. So, and then Scottie, and would you want that face to be the face of the league?
And I'm gonna give you, and this is my last thing, I'm gonna give you the series of questions I think Scottie Pippen gets greeted with every time a fan meets him. I feel like this is how the interaction goes every time a fan meets Scottie. Hey, you're Scottie Pippen. Yeah, I'm Scottie Pippen. Man, I loved you on the Bulls, man. You were so good. How was it playing with Michael?
If I were to meet Scottie Pippen, I think my first question would be, what exactly did you have against Charles Barkley again? I think that's the burning question. That's the first question that comes to mind when I think of Scottie Pippen. Like, if I were to interview people, I would want to do a burning question real quick, like the first question, so we can get it out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a question that I'm extremely curious about, and I'm genuinely curious about, and I really want to find out what's it about. And I just asked you the question, and hopefully get an answer out of it of some sort. But that'd be the question I'd ask Scottie. What was your deal with Charles Barkley?
The question I'd ask Scottie be like, look, we're off camera. I'm not recording. Did you really put off that knee surgery because you didn't want to play?
But that's the other thing, right? He complained about how there was no, bad back game, but it's like that game wasn't about you. As Bomani said, if you scored 35 with a bad back, then we'd be talking. He was like, the reason why the flu game is called the flu game is because you never hear about a player playing with the flu. You hear them about playing with flu-like symptoms, but it's not the flu, so that's why they call them flu-like symptoms. Jordan was playing as if he didn't even have the flu or food poisoning, whatever you believe. So that's why it was called the flu game. He was like his Scottie's selfishness.
Well, maybe we should just give him one game with a name on it, and then maybe he'll be happy. Maybe if he just has one game with a name, he'll be okay. Give him the migraine game.
Yeah. No. Without a doubt, like for what it's worth, I'll say he doesn't deserve the bad game, but goddamn it, does he deserve the migraine game? Because if and only if he would have actually finished that game with the migraine, I think we'd be talking about that as much as we talk about the flu game. But the fact of the matter that he actually went out there and, tried to actually play, but he wasn't doing very well because of the migraine. That's why it's so commendable.
Didn't he have like blurred vision too? Like Nazi?
Nigga, listen. That motherfucker should have been in bed crying himself to sleep. That's what migraines will do to you.
Anyway, all this to say, Scottie just mad he don't have a game named after him.
I tell you the fuck what. You give Michael Jordan a migraine, watch a guy turn to a man.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say something that probably, whatever, it's like a minute. Racist white Utah couldn't keep him down, so I'm pretty sure a migraine.
That's the one thing I think about The Last Dance, because Michael Jordan was like, he didn't really take the migraine seriously. It's like, bro, nah, migraines are dead ass, bro. You don't understand.
Yeah, I've dealt with migraines. Migraines are no joke.
That's the one thing where I was like, all right, Mike, you're wilding. Like that's now you're just heavily criticizing Scottie and shade. That's where I'm like, I drew the line. I was like,
but does he not? But see, this is the problem. Michael Jordan would be like, do I not have the right to do that? I play with the flu. And then that's Scottie be like, I hate you.
Michael Jordan's low-key the MJF of basketball.
Yeah, I played a migraine. I played a migraine. A migraine's mid.
Yeah, we'll get to MJF later. Oh man, yeah, nah. So like, all in all, this entire situation is ridiculous because Scottie Pippen has his legend of his own, and he only upset because it's in the shadow of the greatest player of all time. It just is what it is. It be's what it be. There are motherfuckers that didn't even win championships because of Michael Jordan. How do you think they feel? You won championships because of Michael Jordan. Like, come on, bro. Like, it is what it is.
Hey, that is a wild comparison. You look at someone like Scottie Pippen, and then we mentioned earlier, you look at Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley's life is getting trolled about not having rings.
Exactly. Shaq couldn't win shit until MJ retired. Hakeem couldn't win shit until MJ retired. And if MJ didn't retire, as Caleb said, no one wins that entire decade. So
I look at Scottie Pippen, then I look at Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing doesn't win one. Never wins one. I told Canez this because like me and Canez were looking at the little
Did he win one? Did the Knicks win?
I think so. We were looking at the class of '96 series that Bomani did on YouTube, and it was like Steve Nash, Stephon Marbury, Ray Allen, Kobe, and AI. And I had to pause it in one of the videos. I was like, you know what? I just thought about it. If you were in the league around the same time as Michael Jordan, you either A, won a championship after he retired the second time for the last for the last time as a Bull. He retired the first time to go play baseball, or you just never won a championship at all. And he was like, pretty much.
the
Pretty
Knicks
much.
the Knicks did not win. Settle down, Scotty. You can be Patrick Ewing.
Tough scene. Exactly. So there are so many Alonzo Mournings, your Larry Johnsons, and Muggsy Bogues. Like that Charlotte team had something, and they weren't getting past motherfucking Michael Jordan and the Bulls. So it's like there's so many legendary players that never won a championship because Michael Jordan ran that entire decade. And you are a part of that ride, you selfish motherfucker. So
from now on, whenever Scotty get out of line, we're just gonna say, relax, Scotty. You can be Patrick Ewing.
Yes. Like, look, you're not gonna top your teammate, who's the greatest basketball player of all time. However, there are many a legend during your time that you've topped. And I don't mean you as in, the Bulls. I mean, like, you individually. Because, again, you were a shutdown defensive player.
You could be Scottie Pippen. I mean, you could be Patrick Ewing, or you could be Reggie Miller. Pick your choice.
So, like, it is what it is, bro. Just take it for what it is. We're not going to change this just because you're, spewing about Michael Jordan and you got a book coming out. We're not going to change our perspective on Michael Jordan. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? You doing this publicity stunt, or you meaning this, if anything, because you're still sour about the production of The Last Dance, if anything, it's making you look bad. Because now we're just looking at you like, all right, now you're just complaining. And we remember what happened.
And it was at this point where we talked about Scottie Pippen too long.
Yeah, probably. Number 2. While we're on the subject of basketball, well, Penn Collins basketball heavy. The Morris brothers and the Jokic brothers got a little beef. You hear about that?
Yeah, I also didn't know Jokic had a brother. So,
yes, Nikola is the youngest of, I believe, 3. So Nicola's the Kinez in his family, right?
Funny how that works. The youngest brother always makes you forget that they're other brothers.
Now, these Morris brothers, I don't know how they got the tough guy personas in the league. Have you figured it out? I don't know.
No, because I don't care much about the Morris brothers. A couple of
run-ins, I guess, but that's about it. But what happened between one of them and Nikola the other night? Yo, I wouldn't fuck with Nikola. I just wouldn't. Like,
that man is Siberian.
He first and foremost, he grew up in war-torn Siberia. All right. I feel like if you have to say war,
Listen. Uh-oh.
Seeing where I was for my connection rudely interrupted me. I feel like if you're from an area or country where you began the name of the country by saying war torn, you probably shouldn't be fucked with. Like, Siberia was in a, I believe, 6-way civil war, in which, how the fuck do you do that?
I don't know, man. To quote Mike Tyson.
There's a period of time in his life where he grew up without, like, electricity. Like, That's wild as fuck to me. Then not only that, like for shits and giggles and fun, his brothers would throw knives at him and he'd dodge them. Like I just wouldn't fuck with anybody like that. I probably wouldn't. And if I do, I have to kill them. Like that's it. It's the only way. Like I'm not gonna diddle daddle with them. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do any type of like, fighting. I'm not gonna let them try to put up a fight. Nah. We got to try to like.
There is no type of provoking a Siberian.
Like none. You just shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? You just shouldn't. Number 3. This pick count is a bit of a throwaway. I just want to say Steph Curry's fucking unfair.
Yeah. and I gotta think, I'm just thinking about like a jokish whatever, like what if he just ready to get in the right, but like, I am Siberian. Like, oh God. I'm running away. Especially as little as I am, if somebody ever comes to me like, I'm Siberian, I'm like, and I'm taking an exit this way.
I'm Siberian. I'm out of here. Like
I'm gone. Curry's unfair, and it's not with it. And also, I'm gonna throw this in. The Wizards. I can't believe I'm talking about the Wizards. They're 10-3 in the East. They are first in the Eastern Conference. Granted, it's still early, and my Sixers have an outbreak of COVID. But I think it's funny to see Wizards fans being all excited. Yeah, we're number 1. We might go to the finals, and I'm just sitting there like, relax.
You DC sports fans always think you're going to championships.
Like, I understand, the football team isn't what y'all expected it's gonna be, which I don't know why y'all barely won a trash division. So
you know what? I wanna throw out the fact that we might have been slightly wrong about Taylor Heineke. He may at least be Kirk Cousins level. So there's that. In a sense of like, how with Patrick Mahomes, if you have Patrick Mahomes, you're going to win a game. If you have like Tom Brady, you're going to win a game usually. If you have like Lamar Jackson, you're going to win a game. With Kirk Cousins, I mean, you might be able to win a game. That's kind of how it is with Taylor Heineke. Like
I'm gonna put this in perspective for you.
Possibility of winning a game.
I'm gonna put this in perspective for you. PJ Walker, who was the starting quarterback of the Carolina Panthers because Sam Darnold was hurt, and who recently signed Cam Newton, was 5-0 in the XFL and was 1-0 with his start in the Panthers. He already has a better career record than Taylor Heineke. Do with that what you will.
All right. Touche. However, Taylor Heineke beat whom y'all call the greatest quarterback of all time. So, again.
Did Taylor Heineke do that, or did the running game do that?
Oh, no, I ain't watched that game. So
I don't know either. I was asking you a question.
I was just watching Red Zone, and I watched the not the walk off, but the game sealing touchdown with a minute left in the game. I was like, all right, Taylor, you got it. You got the juice now, I guess. Not all of the juice, just like a drop or so. But
what you're saying is this. So what you're saying is this game was his. You like that moment?
Do I like him? I mean,
no. I'm saying what you're saying is the game that he won against Tom was his. You like that Kirk Cousins moment?
I don't want anybody to have a you like that Kirk Cousins moment.
Well, here now you're already comparing to Kirk Cousins. It's too late.
No. Really. I need another like type of a rival game. I don't know. It wasn't a Michael Jordan-esque rival game, but it was like a.
I had to tell you, that's probably the closest comparison you're gonna get. Is you like that?
Randy Moss.
What?
A tier lower than Michael Jordan's 63 in a playoff game, but a high tier. So
Heineke beating Brady is
about as close as he gets to Randy Moss on Thanksgiving for his career. I don't know.
he's not that close at all. He's Taylor. He is Kirk Cousins. You like that, and you cannot change my mind. Because after you like that, they got rid of him, and he's been trash.
Not trash. He's been average.
Which is trash in the NFL.
No. Yes. That's the thing. Like, I mean, NFL average. Like, he wins some, he loses mostly. Like, it's not like a case of fucking like Ryan Leaf or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, just because NFL trash is obscurity trash doesn't mean NFL average is trash too.
But that's what I said. With Kirk Cousins, you might win a game. You're not going to certainly win a game, and it's not going to be a shock when you lose. But you might be able to win a game with Kirk Cousins.
That's why he's Kirk Cousins.
I suppose so, but it's not like
you're not getting away from the fact that him winning was you like that moment. That's what it was. Because he gonna go. Only difference is he's not gonna get a contract from another team and have a chance to have an average career. He gonna be in Washington and he gonna go somewhere else and it's gonna be even worse.
I got Taylor Heineke winding up in the randomest of fucking places, replacing somebody, like anybody, like fucking. He's gonna wind up in goddamn the goddamn New York Jets or like the Miami Dolphins or some shit like that, and actually have like a above average career as well.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know the team I thought of after you said that.
Probably not, because you're probably going to say the Falcons.
Exactly.
And you know what? I kind of believe that too. That sounds like something the Falcons would do in the next 5 years or so. After Matt Ryan retires at like 41, they're like, oh shit, I just realized I never drafted a quarterback to succeed Matt Ryan seriously. And then we start looking for a new quarterback, and they wind up with goddamn Taylor Heineke. I believe that'll happen. I wholeheartedly believe that'll happen.
What if Taylor Heineke goes to Atlanta and leads them to the Super Bowl?
It wouldn't matter because they're just going to choke. So
he ended up being the new Nick Foles. Eat for free in Atlanta forever because he got that one ring. Nick Foles can eat for free in Philadelphia for the rest of his life.
Nigga, Taylor Heineke with the Atlanta Falcons a ring. I just give up on life. Nothing makes sense anymore. Like, I'm not getting back on that narcotic though. That's for sure.
Taylor Heineke win the Super Bowl with the Falcons passing out Heinekens to everyone in the locker room. Heineke for Heineke. We
got well off tangent, and this subject in particular hijacked the actual pin count subject. So Steph Curry hit a motherfucking three, like, and he hit net. He was like hitting the guns to the fans. Like, oh my god, damn, man, this motherfucker is just. He knows it's going in at this point. Why even watch it at this point? As soon as you let that bitch fly, why am I just standing there watching the ball go in when I know it's going to go in? You know what I'm saying? I'd be bored of that too. You know what I'm saying? So why not, wow the fans while we're at it? But dog, did you see that behind, like, no look overhead pass he did the other night? Down court. Like, he was saving the ball. That's why I said, whoop. Your ass down the court said, 1, 2, hit. I said, well, what can you do about this motherfucker, man? You can't. You just can't.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Like, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that was pin count. However, moving on to our next segment of the afternoon. Inside the Five, brought to you by Schleart. Wait, where in the hell? There. There it is. Kenny, what you got for us, man?
All right. Inside the 5 quickly. First, number 1. OBJ to the Rams. Super Bowl confirmed after watching the game last night? No.
Fuck no.
The fact that they put that the 49ers and Jimmy Garoppolo put up 31 on them is astounding to me. It's very funny. I just like, you know what? All this hype for OBJ to go to a new team, goes to a team with a winning record. And for him to lose his debut game, it's funny to me. Because now, like, what if we do all this? Everybody get hype about the Rams and they proceed to just go on a mean losing streak. Like they playing Madden and the worst possible result of their Madden trades happens to them.
Hey, if they end up losing that like pickup, well, it wasn't even a trade. So if they lose that pickup, then it's like now I gotta take back everything I said about OBJ. And it's like maybe he's just he's one of those players where he just fucks up the flow of the team somehow, some way. And it's like he don't mean to be. He don't be doing anything that intentionally to fuck up the flow of the team. Just him being there, it's just not a right fit. And honestly, I think OBJ at this point has to find a place where he'd be a right fit because he might just be one of those players.
I think the problem is he came out that hot tub seductively with 2 grown men in it, and that juju.
Look, man, I'm not worried about all of that because apparently it makes him very good at his craft. So it's like I don't like none of that. I look past that. Like, is it ridiculously hilarious? Yes, but the motherfucker is still good. You know what I'm saying? He just needs to be somewhere where he's a good, where he fits.
I'm not saying he's not good. I just think that juju with that, doing him being real comfortable with that has made him not, anywhere. I think it's funny. But, when something's too funny, it may just like trickle down, and now they just think you're a funny person. And they don't.
He probably should have went to Seattle.
Probably so.
They could use another weapon in that receiving core too, because DK Metcalf can't do it all. And now that is starting to take a little too long to get rid of that ball.
Well, he still does have a bad finger, so he kind of rushed back.
Sure, but again, like they can set up a neat pocket for him every once in a while. He's just hanging on to the ball too long.
Well, you got to get back in his rhythm, so give him some time. They 3-6 anyway. They're not going nowhere.
40, but all right.
You said what?
I said I was talking before the injury, but all right.
Oh well, they 3-6.
Damn. Tough.
And he was keeping them in games early while holding the ball too long.
Tough scene.
Whatever. Number 2. The Titans still winning without Derrick Henry. You didn't think you'd see that, did you?
No, not at all. And I think they're also doing it on the back of 36-year-old Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, they're running back by committee now. They got somebody named Nichols and Adrian Peterson.
Oh, they're sharing the load.
Yeah,
they figured out Adrian Peterson is too old for this shit for a full game, but he's still good enough for a game.
Correct.
So we're just gonna let him share with the young buck real quick, and give the young buck some carries throughout the game, but we let Adrian Peterson essentially feature.
Correct.
Or even go 50-50 and just be like,
yeah, they go 50-50.
What you want with that?
Yeah, they go 50-50.
That's good.
AP not giving you 296, but he will give you 11 for 45. That's it. Yeah.
And it'll work, I guess. So,
yeah.
Hey.
Number 3. The Lions still bad. They're just not bad enough to be very bad of all time. They just really bad. The Lions are really bad. They're really bad. They just avoid being historically bad. They're not good.
At least they're not their 2008 version anymore. That tie marks that. They're not going to be like 2008 again.
They're not going to be worse than 2008. They will not be the first 0-17 team.
Oh no, they got a chance to be just as terrible.
Correct. They're going to be 0-16-1. So they stepped up to the point where they are not 0-17. They are 0-16-1. We may not win a game, but we damn sure won't lose them all.
Bro, Detroit just gotta fold as a franchise if that happens, dog. They just gotta cease operations or move to another city. Detroit may just be destined to never win a championship ever again after the Bad Boys.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I know Dan Campbell was probably like, "Ooh, what a relief! I'm not 0-17." But he's also like, "Bro, I need to win a game."
Fired. Let's think about that as well. Your job security is on the line at this point because y'all motherfuckers are on a losing streak that can barely be broken by a tie. A tie merely fractures a losing streak because tie is still essentially a loss because you didn't win either. So
meanwhile, Jared Goff looking at Matthew Stafford at the Rams like, I hate my life.
Yo, Jared Goff is
tight.
He gotta get out of Detroit. Like I say, bro, Detroit is not. Detroit gotta give up as a franchise. They just gotta, because that you gotta know when enough's enough, and when you get an additional game, it's supposed to be an additional chance to win, and you fuck around and tie that game. just get the fuck up, man. Cease operations, sell the franchise, move it, do something, but you can't own it anymore. That's it.
I think that'd be the one team, and then what makes it even worse, we're gonna watch them on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
Can the Detroit Lions finally win a game on Thanksgiving?
Damn, I you know what? I've always, said to myself, one thing you're going to see on Thanksgiving is a Detroit Lions football game. I never stuck around to see if they won or not.
Well, I did because they played the Eagles one time, but that was because they had Stafford and Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson just proceeded to torch us with 3 TDs. But that wasn't enough to keep him around because he ended up leaving the next season. So
that's because he was on the Madden cover. But he knew better. So so it's like I never stuck around to see if they would win or not. It's like, all right.
And while we're here, what's the protocol of changing teams that are scheduled to constantly appear on Thanksgiving? Because I don't want to watch Detroit anymore.
Well, the fact that they've made Detroit a Thanksgiving mainstay, that's why we see Detroit every Thanksgiving.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Where's the protocol of changing them? Can we get a different team that's a Thanksgiving mainstay? I know you're going to keep Dallas, whatever. Fine.
Well, that's because America's team.
Fine. I know, yeah. I know they're going to keep them. But can we just swap them out? Swap them out for somebody else.
Well, who the fuck you want to watch on Thanksgiving, to be honest? I tell you the fuck what. You know what I would like? Let's actually take a moment to see what the Thanksgiving schedule looks like. All right. Bears and Lions at 12:30. Oh, they're getting that out of the way early.
They always get them out the way early.
I usually remember Lions games being the 4:30 games.
No, Cowboys are always at 4:30.
Well, with that said, Raiders and Cowboys at 4:30, and then Bills and Saints at 8:20. I don't know if that's going to be a good primetime game, Bills and Saints. I think the Bills are going to win that game. I would have loved to see the Bills play somebody like, uh, you know, the Patriots. I'd watch a Bills Patriots game these days.
I like to see to see him play the Cardinals with Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins.
Well, Kyler Murray's injured, so I wouldn't want to watch that this year at least.
He need to get back.
Next year maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But my thing is, how do we get Detroit out of these Thanksgiving slots?
I'll tell you what, Bills against the Chargers wouldn't be a bad game to watch either.
That'd be a good game. But I'm still on swapping Detroit out. Who would you rather see every Thanksgiving? It's got to be somebody.
Well, who do they play every damn Thanksgiving? Because it looks like the Bears, if you ask me.
It changes every time.
It changes every time.
The Bears have been consistent the last couple of years, though. I like to see the Packers on Thanksgiving every year. What? You dropped out, sir.
So it's like if we want to really be assholes about it, the Bucks.
No. I like to see the Packers every year. I like to see Thanksgiving at Lambeau every year. That'd be fun.
I don't mind Thanksgiving at Lambeau at all because it's usually snowing. So yeah, that's always a good idea. That always is a good time. I wouldn't mind watching the Bengals against the Lions this year.
I don't want to see the Lions again on Thanksgiving.
I want to see a cat fight.
Okay, so we'll give you Ravens Cardinals one year. We don't have to watch the Lions.
I'd want to watch Ravens and Lions on Thanksgiving. I'd definitely be down to see.
Why are you trying to keep Detroit in Thanksgiving?
Oh yeah, the objective was to get the Lions out of Thanksgiving. Okay, yeah. So replace the Ravens with Lions then.
I'm picking the Packers with the Lions. Replace the Packers with the Lions.
Actually, yeah, I like that choice. Like you said, Lambeau is.
It's probably one of the oldest stadiums in the league. It's been around for a very long time since this.
All right, so yeah, no, I'd replace the Ravens with the Lions.
Okay, so NFL, we've given you multiple suggestions of teams to get rid of the Lions. I don't want to see the Lions on my Thanksgiving screen no more. And if you give me this whole spiel about tradition, that's the problem. The NFL's tradition has been subpar. So change it.
At best. Yeah, that's the cure.
Who you know eat cheese and crackers live? That'd be me. Number 4.
Okay.
Cam comes back to Carolina. He scores 2 touchdowns. And the funniest part about all this, after the first touchdown he runs in, he continues to scream, "I'm back!" Yeah, if you're so back, how come you're not starting? It's only 1 week. I had to throw the little jab out there because I just thought it was funny. But hey, man, for him to not have played in some weeks, he did what the Panthers needed him to do. Get them goal line carries, some goal line TDs. He actually threw for one, so it's good to see him back in the league after the thing with y'all greatest coach of all time, who is not Bill Walsh. Yeah. Call me biased. I don't know. It is what it is.
All right, cool.
I'm just very happy to see Cam actually score twice. And poor Arizona. Oh, poor Arizona. Without Kyler Murray, they are Triz ash. Without Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, they are Triz ash.
Oh, they're lost.
That is horrible. And poor Colt McCoy. I like Colt McCoy. He ain't looking like he ain't got no chance to do nothing.
Dude, his career has been over like for the last 3 years. It is what it is. Like,
Yes, but it shouldn't have been. He actually should have got a fair shot in Washington.
honestly, his career was doomed from the get-go being drafted by the Browns. That was it.
I wonder how that feels to know that every time you draft a quarterback, their career is ruined.
More than likely.
Or whenever a quarterback comes to you that has potential, like a Jason Campbell. Jason Campbell had a chance. Then he went to the Browns, and the chance was gone. Like,
well, the reason why Jason Campbell was successful in Washington was because Washington was constantly changing their coaching staff.
So yes, I know.
Learn a playbook or a scheme or anything like that when it's constantly changing like a revolving door. So all you can do is rely on what talent that you do have, which is just a strong arm, and that's it. Like, he didn't necessarily have the intangibles of a quarterback per se. He was no Byron Leftwich. So,
but all that could have been different if he actually had a consistent offense he was in. Look at Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts getting better each week. The problem is he just got to keep them same coordinators and keep the same scheme so he can learn it. Don't make that face. You didn't watch the game.
Fair enough. That is completely fair.
He went out of his mind, and that's not it. And I'm being biased. I didn't even put him on the inside the 5. That's how unbiased I'm trying to be right now. Because him and Devontae Smith had 2 tutties together. And that was all in the first half. He went crazy.
Hey, man.
Number 5. The Miami Dolphins. That's right. The Miami Dolphins. They upset the Baltimore Ravens. In which I was looking like, what?
Yeah.
So, are the Ravens in trouble? Because
listen,
you shouldn't be shut up in Miami like that.
They had a post on Facebook. It was like, the Miami Dolphins used one Madden play all game, and it worked. And it was a motherfucking mid blitz, and it showed like the literal like defensive setup for the mid blitz. and I mentioned Carlos on it. Slippers goes, that's all I could say throughout the entire game. I was like, man, you was disgusting. Were you? It's like it'd be your own plays, dog. It'd be your own plays. You hate to see it. You really do.
See it. And all that does,
you love to see it.
All that does make me think about just how legit Madden can actually be. If people are using Madden plays to win NFL games, hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, most of the Madden plays are essential derivatives of actual NFL plays. Like literal from actual playbooks and shit. It's just they like simplify it because team to team have different, packages and ways they do the play and so on and so forth. So it's just like, simplified to a universal play that other teams have similar plays of. So, like all the plays are authentic, all the playbooks are authentic. It's just a lot of them are, like you'll see a lot of the same plays and a lot of the same playbooks because they're just the base of that play. And there's little nuances and razzle dazzles that varies from team to team for that play though in real life.
So future first year head coaches take plays from Madden. More the
Yeah,
story.
I mean, it sounds like a stupid idea, but base it off a Madden playbook. Like you take a Madden playbook and take some, start building nuances for yourself instead of just running that playbook. God, don't do that. You're going to explode. But make that playbook yours. Like,
Nah, I say run the exact playbook and see how well they play Madden.
no, you're going to lose
Run
a
it.
lot. No, don't do
Run it. Run it. Run it, you cowards. Detroit, run the playbook off Madden. What do you got to lose? You already lost enough. What's another loss really going to do to you? You've been here before. Run the Madden playbook. And that was inside the 5.
No. I don't even know what you said because it cut off, but no, because
I said, Detroit, what do you have to lose from running the Madden playbook? You already lost enough. What's another loss going to hurt you?
Okay.
Do it, you cowards.
All right. You may have a point there. Yeah, maybe they should. All right. The exception of this rule being Detroit. Like, Detroit may have no choice but to just use a Madden playbook. And not their Madden playbook either. Like they got
don't use yours. Y'all trash.
They got to use the generic running gun or the run and shoot. Like
use the generic West Coast playbook.
You have Jared Goff and you have something going on in that offense. Do the generic pass balance. You know what I'm saying? See how that works. You know. God,
right.
Do something though. Somebody do something.
I dare the Lions to run 46 defense.
They wouldn't dare.
That was inside the 5.
Oh boy. All right. Now let's came here for. Well, what me and Cody came here for. What you guys probably don't care about. That's why we put on the back end of the show. You'll probably won't even watch the rest of this episode, will you? Man, fuck y'all. All right. So
oh my goodness.
I most certainly do want to talk about AEW Full Gear this past Saturday night because
I'm glad I got my cheese and crackers.
Oh my God, what a show! This like I told you before we started pre-show, this is the second time I've watched an AEW pay-per-view, and it's absolutely wowed me. I'm not expecting, ridiculousness or fishiness like you would in a WWE pay-per-view. Shit that has to disqualify the match or make it a no contest so they sell it out on Raw the next night. I don't want. Why would you have a match on pay-per-view that you got to sell out on the regular show the next night? I never understood that logic anyway. At any rate, this was just an amazing pay-per-view. It was a mixed bag of it. Like, if the thing about AEW is that if you like certain things, like certain styles of wrestling, they have a little bit of everything for you. You want your big horses, meet motherfucking Miro. You know what I'm saying? You want your high flyers, meet Dante Martin. You want your technical wrestlers, meet the likes of Darby Allin or MJF, which we'll get. A certain thing, and everybody left this pay-per-view happy. But we'll get into that when we get to the main event. Now, I do want to start with the buy-in. Kenny, I know you're not a fan of pre-shows, but
I did not watch the pre-show.
No, boy, you missed a hell of a pre-show because Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa beat Jamie Hayter and Nyla Rose in a tag team match. I guess the setup is that they're all opponents in the TBS Championship Tournament. Nyla Rose faces Thunder Rosa, or Nyla Rose faces Hikaru Shida. Thunder Rosa faced Jamie Hayter in the tournament upcoming round. So they had like a little preview tag team match for that. That shit went crazy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like I just love all four of these women. Like absolutely love them. They are so good. Yeah, Hikaru Shida's that work. Thunder Rosa is like probably my favorite women's wrestler that isn't Nyla Rose in AEW. And then Jamie Hayter, she's just Jamie Hayter could win this tournament, be TBS champion, and I wouldn't hate that shit at all. Actually, I would welcome it. Because that means now Rebel got to get a championship, and that's just going to be downright comical.
Listen, that's cool. I love them all. I'm not watching for show.
That's fair enough. So we'll go to our actual first match of the night. Our opening match, MJF versus Dobby Allen. Buddy boy. First of all, the setup to this match goes as MJF is essentially jealous of Darby Allin, and he wants to psychologically torment Darby Allin. So he brings up Darby's past of him, being involved in a drunk driving accident. He wasn't a driver, but he survived. And just all of his shortcomings and failures, yada yada, what have you. MJF said that he could beat Darby Allin with a headlock takedown, and that was his personal stipulation for the night. And damned if he actually did that shit. I said, this piece of shit actually fucking beat this motherfucker with a headlock takedown, dog. And you know what? It kind of pins them in a corner for his gimmick a bit, and I like it because here's how it has to be now. Well, not necessarily has to be. Here's how they've kind of pigeonholed themselves. MJF can predict correctly of how he can beat you. And he's such an amazing heel, such a believable heel, that you don't know if he's real or not about it, but he's a fucking asshole and he's the worst. You want nothing but the worst to happen to him, and he just keeps getting away with it all, and it's like, oh, fuck you. But that's what I love about it though, because he goes, I can and will beat you with a headlock takedown. It's like, hey, get the fuck out of here. That's why I hope you lose by a long shot. You could just get throttled. You just get your shit rocked throughout the entire match. And we get to the end of the match. Headlock takedown, pinfall. Now you just sit because this motherfucker got a whole lot of cash shit to talk about on Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. That was excellent. I wanted Darby to win, but it's better this way because you can continue with that storyline, because there's no fucking way that it's over between those two.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go to our second event, tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Lucha Bros versus FTR. FTR are AAA tag team champions, in which they stole from Lucha Bros. And if Lucha Bros lost that match, FTR be unified tag team champions. Luckily, Lucha Bros did come out with that win, but that was a hell of a match. But that ending was kind of convoluted. That finish was a bit confusing because it looked like they were trying to do the whole the Bella Twins did the whole twin magic bit. One would come out, one would go under the ring, the other would come out of the ring or whatever and act as if they're that particular twin that's actually in the match.
I can't
They tried to do
believe
that
we're
with their,
talking about.
their mask gimmick, but it ended up being the illegal man and Dax Harwood, and they ended up pinning the illegal man. But the referee the referee just saw a masked man, went for the pinfall, and then after the pinfall, they reveal, boom, it's not the legal man, and the ref was like, well, fuck it, it is what it is. Like what? That's not how that's supposed to go, is it? I don't know. Like, I really don't know that rule. Like, I kind of feel like you're supposed to run that match back. I was like, well, we don't have time. You should have been wearing a mask. Well, all right, I guess. I'm not mad at the decision though, so I guess we'll take it. Now the AEW World Championship Elimination Tournament Final. Winner receives a future AEW World Championship match. Daniel Bryanson. Wow. JR was having the same problem that night. Constantly calling this nigga Daniel Bryan. Bryan Danielson defeats Miro by shit. What did he beat him by?
Football.
You said what?
Pinfall.
No, it was by submission, but it was a move in particular. Tequila Sunrise.
Oh, I thought it was a pinfall. Man,
nope.
But
he beat him by Tequila Sunrise. I am loving the fact that Bryan Danielson could beat a motherfucker not only by submission, as opposed to your usual pinfall, but any submission he so chooses to beat you with. Doesn't have to be the LaBelle block.
I don't like that he beat Miro though. I wanted Miro to be number one contender.
Do you want Miro to be number one contender? Well, tough shit, because Miro's not going to be number one contender. It's going to be motherfucking Bryan Danielson. And honestly, I think that's going to be a much harder match to begin. Well, we'll get into that later. So it made for a better match for the first, match for that championship. Like when Miro gets his chance, trust me, it'll be of a relevant, time period. Because this motherfucker Miro can't miss at this point.
I want to hear is God's favorite champion is now your AEW World Champion.
Soon. Eventually. But goddamn it, right now, we're going to let him wallow in this defeat for a little bit because Miro, I don't know, again, not sure if you realize it, Miro's cutting promos against God. All right. Miro is in a program rivalry with God. And if we're being completely honest, I don't know who's going to win. It's like, I want to say God, but like...
God is going to win. And I don't think he's going to win. I think he's just trying to...
In theory, would God have to take a human form? Like, in order to run that thing?
He already did that.
I think God takes a human form and ends up getting put in the game over, and then so how's that work?
So you
God
saying
go back to being God or is Miro God now? Like what?
So you saying
now I gotta praise Miro? I want to praise Miro, Kenny.
So now you're saying he tapping out Jesus? That's what you're saying?
I hope not. That's what I'm afraid of. And then I want to praise Miro, Kenny. I love my God.
Moving on.
So Christian Cage Jurassic Express defeats.
Oh my God! I don't want to praise Miro. I love my God. Okay.
Just get that nigga a championship, dog. We gonna fuck around to praise Miro, dog. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Give that man a championship back, please. I'm begging you.
Yeah.
Hey, you got the card up?
Yeah, I got it up.
Hey, take the reins from here.
Christian Cage and Jurassic Express versus the Super Click in a falls count anywhere match, which I was like, oh my god, that match was going crazy. Look here, I I absolutely love Adam Cole. Okay, like, it don't matter where this man goes, he's just great.
Yeah.
And the super click with him is just great. The Young Bucks are great. I love them. Everything. It just
Matt Jackson is out of his fucking mind.
Man, that man don't have no sense.
With his outfits.
Also, Christian Cage wrestled in jeans, which I automatically thought, oh yeah, they lost this match.
Wrong.
But history has not been kind of those who wrestle in jeans. That's all I'm saying.
If I was a wrestler, I'd change that. Like any match I knew I was going to win, I'd wear jeans. Or like, you know, denim of some sort. Jeans, jorts, fucking, or like pants in general.
You coming out in the John Cena jean shorts, bro?
Yeah, I had to take that back. So, and pants in general.
Nah.
Fucking
nah, with them John Cena shorts, baby.
The motherfucking the Brock Lesnar training pants. I whoop a motherfucker ass some Nike Tech Fleece. Like
go ahead and put some Old Navy pants on, bro.
On dummy. Bro, Luchasaurus did a fucking shooting star press off the fucking stage.
Incredible.
I made the same face Jungle Boy made. I was like, yo, that's not supposed to happen. Luchasaurus like 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot 5 and shit. Like that motherfucker's not supposed to be doing shooting star presses like that.
Well, he did it.
And he did that shit. And Jungle Boy, oh, he got his first taste of blood. Yeah. That's how they finished, too. Like, Christian Cage is going to go for the concerto to motherfucking Adam Cole. Baby. And Christian Cage is like, you know what? I'm too tired for this shit. Why don't you do it, Jungle Boy? Jungle Boy hesitates for a little bit. He raises the chair. Bang! Let's nasty concerto off. Oh, my God. He let that motherfucker bang on Adam Cole's head, and I just let out a very like sickening. I just made a very sickening groan, like ugh. You know, like that should sound nasty. But hey, pin 1, 2, 3, match over. Match after that: Cody Rhodes and Pac versus Malachi Black and Andrade El Idolo. Wasn't a fan of this match. This might have been the only match that night I wasn't like that big over it. It was a good match. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it was a good match. I just was like,
My thing is,
if
Cody
you're being
Rhodes,
honest, I forgot this match was even on the card. I was like, what is this? Did they just make this?
No, I didn't forget.
I did.
Cody Rhodes just be doing too much, dog.
Cody Rhodes say, "This is my show. I'm just gonna do whatever I want. Hopefully, you like it."
That's cool. I don't mind that aspect. You should, but he be trying to do too many things at once. To the point where it's like it don't be fucking up his brain psychology, but it be making it look illogical as fuck at times too. Or like he just be doing shit aesthetically that don't be calling for his character for real. I don't know. He I guess his gimmick is a creative player. I don't know.
I guess his gimmick is just my interest is cool and I do whatever I want in the ring and that was nice. But even that entrance, I be trying to move like, here we go. I don't know. Man, my old company the job, so hey. That man made his own company the job, so there's that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that either. It means you know how to put a motherfucker over, which he does.
And I said I can never wrestle for the AEW World Title. You know,
That's my thing about Cody. Like, Cody a motherfucker that gets it, but as far as his character goes, he want to do too much. That's my only gripe about him. Otherwise, I fuck with Cody Rhodes.
I knew he was doing too much when he got that big old neck tattoo, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yep.
It's gonna be a too much gimmick.
He done worked himself into a shoot.
Two of the neck of Cody Rhodes. I'm like, boy, that's on mid. Mid.
Big mid.
And then they try to put it on a hoodie. I was like, even more mid. You know, I just try to sell it logo, huh?
The logo in general is trash. Sorry. It is what it is.
That don't like all these versions of a Brahma deal. And it does not work.
It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I mean, though. At any rate, Malachi Black's entrance is fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, it's awesome. Because never mind the fact that it makes you feel a bit uneasy because it's pseudo demonic.
I'm pretty sure it's very demonic.
Yeah, I was sugarcoating with
they call it spade a spade. It's demonic.
But.
And so a lot of people interested in
the aesthetic of the entrance though is dope as fuck because spotlight's on him. Rest of the fucking arena's dark. However, get to a certain point in the motherfucking entrance, everything just black out. All right. And then the next time you see him, he's on the motherfucking turnbuckle and shit doing this pose. And then it blacks out again. And then the next time you see him, he in the middle of the ring doing his cross-leg pose. I'm like, God damn. Why did I think of this shit when I was creating my entrance?
I have no idea the possibilities.
I'll tell you what, I might fuck around and end up doing that. But yeah. And then Andrade El Idolo, he dressed up like a motherfucking BDSM gigolo. Like, what the fuck is his get up?
That man dressed up like a secret society club valet.
Nigga in a Cesaro's Bond suit with a motherfucking Gimp mask on. What's your deal?
That nigga the hat getter. May I take your hat, sir?
What are you trying to
take your hat, sir?
And then
May I take your hat?
This motherfucking Pac, I'm so glad he left WWE. They were doing him wrong. They were doing him so wrong, and I realize that now. This motherfucking Pac is, I don't know what I like. Probably the fact that he's just like feral as fuck. But this motherfucker, like, he's got it. I don't know what it is, but it's it. He got that shit. That motherfucker's just fun to watch. He energetic. He agitated all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like me, but like crank to the max. You know what I'm saying?
He's angry like me.
You know what I'm saying?
Times 100. I think that's hilarious.
So he's cranked to the max. Then not only that, like he violent ass high flyer. Hey, you don't see a lot of those.
Correct.
So I really like Pac, like outside of WWE, because Neville was ugh. However, next match was Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Ty Conti for the AEW Women's World Championship. And boy, was that a good fucking match.
Hey.
Only setback though, Rebel and Jamie Hayter constantly interfering in these matches. It's like, why? Because Britt Baker is so fucking good.
That's what makes
It's
it even better because she don't need them, but the fact that she has them, it makes it even funnier.
yeah, that's a fair point because it's like I enjoy I personally enjoy Rebel's antics. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the menagerie. Uh, so she just be at ringside just wilding in general, and I just enjoy that a lot. So it's like I don't mind her, but Jamie Hayter, she's just like an extra body. She's the actual bodyguard, so it makes sense that they're there. I guess you could say, but it, I mean, there are most times where you don't really need them. But I guess I get it because you're a heel. So
Correct.
as a heel, that's the trope. You have motherfuckers alongside with you to interfere in your match if so need to. Whatever. However,
Hmm.
without Hater or Rebel, I honestly think Conti might have taken that one.
Mm.
Honestly think so. She's over like Rover. Both of them are over like Rover, but Ty Conti is like made herself over. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's
Yeah.
the geeks that did it. Like she's legitimately good. And the thing is that she's actually been like she's had something ever since the Mae Young Classic. And that's how long I've been following her. And it's like she's been green. She just need to be worked with. And it shows. She's been working. So shout out to Ty Conti. And then Dr. Britt Baker, she's just good. And at this point, I'm we can legitimately debate who's the better out of that couple, Britt or Cole.
Right now it's Britt.
You might be right. You just might be right. And this one, Cole is absolute fun to watch. But Britt Baker, she's at it all. She does it all. Like, but on the other side of that fence, it's like, so does Cole. But going back to the first side of that fence, Britt Baker's also a woman. Like, I know, we're in the age of gender equality and so on and so forth, but it's not every day you see a woman like gushing blood, like in a death match.
Correct.
In mainstream wrestling. Like you just don't. So like the fact that she's doing all that, she pulling out thumbtacks, she's showing color, she's like doing spots that not any other woman would do on a main promotion. And you gotta understand, there are indie promotions where women do this routinely.
Correct.
Like I watched I saw a GIF of Maki Ito in a death match, and the match began in a light tube fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's routine these days, for women in general. But in the mainstream, like on national television and pay-per-view, not so much. And Britt Baker is like really bringing that in. Yeah. Yes. Open. All right, I guess nobody's at the door. I have ghosts in my house, Kenny. Apparently. There's that. Yeah, so excellent match all around. The next match after that, we had CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston.
Mm-mm-mm.
Them boys ran that fade. That wasn't even a wrestling match.
No, it wasn't. They just was fighting, and they didn't even care.
Were there wrestling moves? Sure. but they ran the fade. Like, they whooped each other's ass. And honestly, I feel like Eddie Kingston set out to do exactly what he wanted to do. He lost, but he wasn't going to care about it as long as he whooped that ass. And CM Punk left that match almost not being able to stand, and he was leaking. I think that mission was accomplished. I think that mission was accomplished. I think everybody that was in that match, both parties, accomplished their missions. CM Punk wanted to beat Eddie Kingston by pinfall. Eddie Kingston wanted to just outright beat the hell out of CM Punk, whether he won or lost.
And he mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
And that's how you get a nice and simple story right across. And this is just a story they've only been building for a couple weeks. And CM Punk is the heel in the story. That's the irony of it all. Like, CM Punk's just coming back. Everyone loves CM Punk because he's back. But it turns out he's not a fan of Eddie Kingston's hustle because he always thought there was a lack thereof. So, like, he just always thought that he just looked at it as Eddie Kingston always got in the way of himself. So that's your deal. That's why you're so jealous of me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So once we got to a point in the match when the crowd starts booing CM Punk, he looking at the crowd like, the fuck you mean? Like, it's like two different. It was a double entendre of the fuck you mean in that expression. Like, you know, what do you mean you're booing me? Like, I thought y'all loved me so much. Also, what do you mean y'all are booing me over this motherfucker because he's doing this shit to himself? I love it trying to explain to y'all. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. People think that AEW hasn't been using CM Punk correctly since he came back. I think they have. They put him in a couple of matches to get the ring rust off. You put him in a big match like this. CM Punk is back in effect, baby.
Yeah.
Next match, we have the Inner Circle versus the American Top Team, I guess you could say, and Men of the Year.
Yeah.
I'm at there like a collab team and shit.
Right.
Like Nike Velo. But yeah, so yeah, Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, and Santana and Ortiz of the Inner Circle versus Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, Men of the Year. And then America Top Team, handpicked by the Inner Circle, since it's such a group of UFC fighters. They picked Andre Arlovsky and Junior Dos Santos. And then they picked Dan Lambert himself because why? Funny. That's why. And that ended up being a pretty good match. Junior Dos Santos really about that wrestling shit, bro.
Yeah.
I dig it. I dig it hard. Listen, ever since Ken Shamrock, I've never had a problem with UFC or cage fighters and otherwise being wrestlers. Wrestling is less violent UFC.
Correct.
But like even that form of violence manifests into ultra violence in itself sometimes. So it's like it seems like the perfect thing for a cage fighter because you're leaving the unpredictability for knowing what to expect when you like get into violent situations in a match. So yeah, like I'm with it. Did Junior Dos Santos miss a spot or two? Yes, but this is like his second match ever. So it's like it's fucking great, you know. But however, this motherfucker taking bumps through tables and shit already. It's like, yo, all right, okay, I can get down with that, Junior. I'm with the shits. All right, cool. So yeah, I dug that match. I dug that match a lot. And then finally, we get to our main event of the evening. For the AEW World Championship, Adam Hangman Page versus the champion Kenny Omega. And Kenny, this is a match that accumulates a 2-year-long storyline?
Yeah, 2 years long.
This and I want to talk about that for a moment because that's a lost start in wrestling. Now,
It is.
you had back in the day the ballad of Austin versus McMahon. Intertwined with that, you had Austin Rock. You had Undertaker and Triple H. You had The Rock and Triple H. So there were sagas. There were like multi rivalries and years-long sagas. We don't get that often anymore, if ever. And usually these storylines, they're meant to be easily digested, yes, but at this point, WWE has gotten bored with them, and they just follow a template. That's what we're doing at this point in the WWE, because there's no way I should be able to tune in to Raw or SmackDown one week and see essentially the same show I watched 2 weeks prior to that as the go home show. No way. That's inexcusable. So it's supposed to be made easily digestible for the consumer, to be easy to follow. You're following the story more than you're following the matches. And that's why they do that. That's why they're following the template, because you're supposed to be more into the story aspect than the actual wrestling in itself, because it's the entertainment in WWE. That's what it's really about. Well, AEW actually intertwines the entertainment with the wrestling, because they actually do excellent storylines with excellent wrestlers. Why? Because that is possible to do. Go fucking figure. So we don't have the constraints and constrictions that WWE has, and you can really like get creative with things like you can in AEW. You can make for a storyline like you have with Kenny Omega and Adam Page, and that story is a best friends, bitter rivals type of deal, but with a bit of a twist, I guess you could say, because after they lose the tag team championship, Kenny drops Heyman, and Heyman just drifts away pretty much. He just becomes a drifter, an alcoholic drifter, and a loner. Didn't want to be around anybody. After Brody Lee passes, Dark Order's in need of a leader. They've always liked Hangman. So that entered Dark Order into the mix. You know what I'm saying? We're halfway through this storyline at this point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is a year into the story. And Brody passing, of course, was unexpected, but they were able to work with it. That's the amazing part about it all. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they were able to work with this storyline after the Exalted One leaving us. So this was just absolutely perfect. Then not only that, as Heyman going through his drifting phase, this motherfucker Kenny Omega is just becoming the absolute worst. Just an absolute dick. Like,
I love it.
Worst. And he's the final. He becomes the final boss. And I think that's one thing I like about Kenny Omega. He's given the American audience what he was giving motherfuckers out in Japan. I don't think a lot of people notice that, or I think a lot of people have noticed that, and I'm just catching on to it. So, but I like that a lot too. So, Hangman basically like hitting rock bottom, and then finding solace in the Dark Order. And unexpected to the storyline. I guess you could say, additional to the storyline. Becoming a new father. So by the time he came back from paternity leave, bruh, everybody was like, that's the crazy thing about it, because everybody was in limbo up until he took paternity leave, right? Once he took paternity leave, everybody was kind of like, all right, well, he's just at home being a family man. It is what it is. But then he came back from paternity leave, and we realized how far away we are from Full Gear. And that's when everybody was like, yeah, this is happening. This is happening. And that's when everybody started getting hyped about it. And the thing about AEW is they know what the crowd want, right? They know what their audience wants. They're going to give the audience what they want. We just got to work for it a little bit, right? However, at a certain time and place, when the fever is way too high, you got to give the crowd what they want at that time. And this match is exactly what the fuck we want. Because not only did we want Heyman to beat Kenny Omega, which actually happened. Heyman is our new AEW World Champion. We wanted him to like fully reconcile with the Dark Order. From the look of things, he's more than likely quit drinking. Then not only that, like he's the face of the company now, as we all wanted when this company first started. So everything all comes full circle like a goddamn story mode. It's genius. So it makes you wonder, right? What's next in that storyline? Because you can assume at this point the AEW World Championship in itself is a storyline. So now we're wondering, how are y'all going to do these storylines? Are you going to make these championship story modes? Are you going to make the gimmicks intertwined with the story, or are you going to make these characters define the championship, the story of the championship? The character stories define the story of the championship. And it's like, yo, I am excited of how they can see the endless possibilities of how they can do booking in this company. It's fresh. It works. And it's dope. And it's like something that WWE should take note of. Because all they're doing is this thing where they'll build whoever the fuck they feel like, for real. If the fans like them, even that's a plus. If the fans don't like them, they'll like them eventually. And so they pretty much build themselves into a box where it's like any given night you watching a good, 6 to 8 people, whereas you have a large ass roster of talent that you could utilize as well on a week-to-week basis. And it's like if you were to, interchange the matches from a week-to-week basis, boom, you have a big pay-per-view where you can do like about like 10 matches, but they're all like relatively short matches you can get done in 3 hours. Or how many matches are on Raw and SmackDown night? 4 or 5, something like that. So that makes for like
about 4 or 5.
Or you can do like a couple of throwaway matches, like just simple, single matches where it's like you just building up that gimmick. So maybe you're doing 3 storylines or so a show, to where the storylines are the pay-per-view matches. Okay, you can do 3 storylines 2 weeks at a time. Another 2 weeks at a time. Have your show pay-per-view. Boom. You have fucking 6 matches with 2 weeks of storyline. If you want to, go a step further, you build these storylines months ahead to where they build up to a major pay-per-view as opposed to just one of these throwaway pay-per-views. Or you use these pay-per-views, these throwaway pay-per-views for build up, your next superstars, or to build up who you need to build up. Instead of it being for the major stars, you save the major pay-per-views for the major stars. Like, there's so many ways you can go about this.
Mm-hmm.
So many ways. And WWE just chooses to go by the way they're going by it, giving us, the same matches week by week with, C plus storylines, and giving motherfuckers shit to turn into chicken salad. And it's like, I just be wanting better for those rosters, dog. I really do. Because you got talent on that WWE roster, and it's like kind of wasting away to the point where you see motherfuckers on WWE like, damn, I wonder how they'd be in AEW. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. Motherfuckers should be wondering how they would fare in WWE, and it's lost that luster because Triple H brought in all these indie darlings into the WWE and were fulfilling that fantasy of, what if these indie motherfuckers were in the WWE? And it was working.
Mm-hmm.
And Vince decided to release the majority of them. Because he wanted to do it his way. All right, man. All right, bro. But overall, AEW All Out, A+ pay-per-view. How's that All Out? Full Gear, A+ pay-per-view.
Full Gear.
I wish that water had flavor. Final thoughts, Kenny?
I told you so about AEW. All this is doing is making me happy.
Because me enjoying AEW is just one big I told you so for you. That's why.
Yeah. And the thing that makes this even greater is just like I told y'all before the company even created itself. Well, we got rumors of it.
Because it's fresh minds. That's what all boils down. It's a bunch of motherfuckers that looked at WWE and was like, we could be this good, but much more different. And that's what they're doing. They're showing you that there are different, styles of, or different, forms and fashions of wrestling aside from the WWE. And it doesn't have to be just the WWE that we can watch. And that it works to bring a different style of wrestling to the mainstream. And we're going to get to a point where we're going to be seeing the likes of, like, Joshi wrestling on American television. We're going to be seeing, death matches and shit like that. Like, we're going different styles and different promotions and shit start to spring up to a point where, bro, the lowest you have to look for wrestling would be YouTube, and roughly everything else would be on a network channel. But that's the monopoly that WWE has put on for years, and that was the threat that WCW was becoming. That's why WWE shut them down. So at the end of it all, WCW weren't really the villains. WWE were.
Mm-hmm.
It all goes back. It all goes back to Black Monday or Black Saturday. I don't know. It was a Black Day where a territorial thing in America. Like there were different wrestling promotions in different, if not states, different regions. So you know you can have the world champion in the northeast region, and you can have a world champion in the southeast region. And the best thing about that was these promotions usually would work with each other and would send their wrestlers to other promotions, and these other promotions send their wrestlers to other promotions, to where all these wrestlers are traveling from promotion to promotion to promotion and could possibly be collecting championships, much like Ric Flair was doing. So it was a fun time, so to speak. Vince McMahon wanted all the money, so he shut that shit down. Know how it was still a thing when Vincent J. McMahon was still alive. There was no problem with territorial wrestling back then. Vince McMahon took charge. I had to shut all that shit down.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're at a point where we're starting to see a renaissance of the forbidden door being open, and the door isn't being so forbidden anymore. It's starting to become a territorial type of deal. And the best part about it is this shit don't even have to be territorial by state anymore. It's just going by promotion to promotion. And the best part about it is AEW working with these other promotions is getting their name up into the mainstream too. Because not a lot of people watch Impact, I'm sure of it. Only a select few. You know, but now I'm pretty sure more people are going to watch Impact because you never know who may show up on Impact now.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like there are going to be other promotions that are going to want to get in on this shit because it's going to, in the long run, make them more money. And once it makes them more money, they're going to be able to gain more exposure by securing network deals. Once they secure network deals, they'll be able to, you know, gain more revenue and notoriety by putting shows on at reasonable times. Unlike Ring of Honor that was on like 2 in the fucking morning. What was that about?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Like you put on Ring of Honor at like 4:30 in the afternoon, like a fucking afternoon kids show. I'd watch the fuck out of Ring of Honor, fresh off.
Yeah,
but not neither here nor there. But that's how, you know, yeah, look at it. You know, you could be up at any moment of the day doing nothing and can watch wrestling. That's dope. That's dope to me. And then there's, you know, there can still be those people that like just don't really look out for wrestling, and it doesn't bother them because there's other shit on. You know, 1,000 channels, it'd be nothing to watch half the time anyway. So it's like you might as well watch some wrestling.
why not?
So yeah. I don't really have much of a final thought other than the fact that we as a society got to stop accepting things for what they are and start wondering, what if we could do this? So bring it on home, Kenny.
Stephanie said, "My name is Kenneth Whitaker, aka Hendrik Solo, the original owner of Millennium Falcon. At this point, I've been flying the ship so long, I don't even know what else to tell you. It's either you believe me or you don't at this point."
$23 skidoo. 24. Bye.
AKA the Last Blade Jedi. You must feel the force around you, or else you're gonna feel a super kick to your chin.
I had a fucking sound effect. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's one time for your mind.
That's hilarious. AKA Mr. Gold Slick Vodka. So I decided the name of the company I want to subscribe to. The Fantastic Voyage.
That's fantastic.
It's like, no, that's not what it was. Dang, it was a van. It was something with a van. It's when they get a group of girls on the van and then they bang the ones that in the van. It's like $10 a month. You get all kind of fetishes. It's like one's for like feet, one's for pee and others. I'm not saying I'm using it. I'm saying it comes with the site. Why don't you get something like Perfect 10? You know, like Perfect 10? That could be a very thing. That could be like bowling or something. He's like, yeah, I should probably go with the one with at least 30 sounding name.
That movie does not age very well, but I still love it the same, bro.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I'm sorry.
Hey, yo, it's still hilarious, though. He's like, I cannot believe you got to suck on those tits when you were a baby. Yeah, well, at least you got to suck your dad's dick, so.
And that was a hell of a comeback, dog. He said so nonchalantly to the point where I didn't even realize he attacked his ass.
yeah. Well, you just got to fucking, So.
He pretty much said it in a sense of some fucking talking about my mom like that, bro.
Bye, Jane. That nigga wait till his mom talks some bye, Jane. Hilarious. Hey, Nacho Man, I'm a savage.
Oh no.
Is it even when it doesn't seem like it's right that the Nacho Man is right? Yeah. And I know a lot of you are wondering at home, what exactly is going on in the Nacho Man's head? Well, I'll tell you what's going on, me, Gene. Thanksgiving's coming up and everybody's got their own kind of recipes. Like some people may be making turkey, Mean Gene. Some people may be making turducken, but I don't even know turducken. Have you had turducken, Mean Gene? It's always inquired my mind to wonder what a turducken
I usually carve turkey.
So, you carve it. Oh, yeah. Well, do you use a special knife, Mean Gene? Or do you just carve it with a butter knife? I hope you're not carving it with a butter knife. That'd be a waste of time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I use an electric knife.
Oh, you kind of fancy when a Nacho Man uses his elbow to carve turkeys and thoughts every time consistent elbow drops. Oh, yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was Nacho Man, I'm a Savage, live from his kitchen. Hey, Nacho Man, elbow drop me another slice of that turkey, will you?
Who's playing Mariah Carey? Yeah, it's Thanksgiving time. AKA the very sexual, the very toy.
Very toy, yes.
Austin Powers Faja.
Wait, is Faja?
That is Faja.
Oh.
Swinging 60s, baby, here I come. Oh, sorry. I bet that's expensive. This nigga's got everything trying to go forward. He's like, oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
We gotta jump to the portal light. All right. Yeah, I guess it's my turn. Yeah. Well, let's bring it on home. I am Carlos Crawford, aka super kicking Shelton Benjamin out of midair's chin music, Charlie. There it is. Yeah, AKA Whole Stone Cold. I train hard.
What?
I train real hard.
What?
I ate tacos.
What?
Enchiladas.
What?
Drink beer.
What?
Drink whiskey.
What?
Ate cheeseburgers.
What?
Drank tequila.
What?
Ate some more enchiladas.
What?
I even did a couple of push-ups.
What?
Pull-ups.
What?
Sit-ups.
What?
Okay, I didn't really do the sit-ups.
Dog.
AKA Snack Miller. I'm the greatest. Admit it, I'm the greatest. And I don't hold a grudge against anybody who hate it. I'm underrated. Don't fit on nobody's playlist. If I ain't in your top 10, then you're a racist. AKA John Smokes. We're here at the Normal Pop-Up Shop Festival where John Smokes will be here for a meet, greet, and weed tasting. Come see him today.
Parading around like his favorite shotgun bowl.
AKA the Idiom Savant. Buddy, we did not have to scrape the barrel for this episode. That's for true. However, to bring it on home, AKA
Moose Whitaker. Bartender, shot of whiskey. Fine house tonight, huh, mister?
Sure. But heads up, I don't think your company is welcoming.
Oh, I noticed. That's actually why I'm here. Just didn't plan on taking care of business in such a fine establishment.
Hey, listen to you. You fixing to buy this place, Chico?
I believe I was conversing with the bartender, sir. But if you'd like to discuss your quarrel with me, we can handle this outside like gentlemen.
Why take this outside? We could settle this here right now.
Mr. Bartender, I'm not one for pleasantries. You saw him reaching. I do have an interest in this establishment. But don't worry, I'll have the sheriff come clean this mess up for you.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 163. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Watch the product.
Yes, sir. I'm a boss. Looks like, I like that a lot.
I like how I can share my Haystack West, AK, every once in a while. Well, I can get the rest of
Yo. Hey, yo.
all right. So, you can you hear me now?
Yes.
So I can say this out loud. We off this.
We out.